All right, so pick 3, we're predicting Carlton to bid on Ashcroft, but obviously Brisbane, Levi Ashcroft at pick 3. Match father-son bid.
Yeah. So obviously in our last mock draft, we had North making that bid, and then given that they traded out a pick 2 and Richmond might pass on him for the second time, then it would be hard to see him going past Carlton. Just given, I think what we also mentioned last week was that the Blues want to get probably a few of those Lions picks chewed up as quickly as they can. Just means they would have to use as most as they would need, and then ideally that their second selection at pick 38 would come up a few spots, hopefully, and then that falls before a Ben Camporelli bid for the Blues. So something that Carlton would keep in mind, but at the same time, I've said for the last few months, I think Ashcroft's the number 1 player in this pool. So if Richmond aren't wanting to bid on him and don't have him at the top, then Carlton certainly could, and they'll be forcing that bid for Brisbane. Obviously, a player we've spoken about a lot this year, given his ties to the club, and we've known he'd be a Lions player for some time, but still just so dominant. Entered the year as arguably the number 1 pick, and while he might not go number 1 overall, as I mentioned, I think he's the top player in the draft. Just perfect year, just about for Vic Metro, for the Sandy Dragons, and even his 1 game stint for the Lions VFL side. Great accumulator, smart player, clean hands, good leadership qualities, and still different to his brother, which I think is nice. Like, it'd be great to have another Will Ashcroft, but I think Levi's going to have his own kind of road to go down, and he's going to offer a point of difference. Less pace and speed, but just very smart in and under player who can learn a lot off a player like Lachie Neale.
Yep. So is there any point in Richmond bidding on Ashcroft with the first pick?
Oh, yeah, plenty of pros in Richmond's regard. They probably force the reigning premier to give up more than what they would at pick 2 or 3 or whenever the bid would follow. At the same time, and I don't think a lot of clubs would look at this too much, but you're putting the pick 1 pressure on another kid, not your own. So, there's the amount of pressure that pick 1 gets compared to pick 2 is massive. Mm-hmm. And I think, not placing that on your own player it might be, in some people's eyes, a benefit as well.
Yeah.
So that's among the pros on why you would bid, but unlikely that we'll see one from Richmond, at least at pick 1.